Hi, my name is Bibek Adhikari. I am your English instructor. In today's class, we are going to solve the poetry of Unit 3, that is Money by Richard Armour. So let's begin. Right, we are now going to start a poem called Money by Richard Armour, correct? Let's start by reading this poem. Workers earn it, spendthrifts burn it, bankers lend it, women spend it, forgers fake it, taxers take it, dying live it, heirs receive it, thrifty save it, misers crave it, robbers seize it, rich increase it, gamblers lose it, I could use it. Right, so the poem is about money, needless to say. It is about money and it explains everything about money, how money has been misused and how different people are using money, right? So workers, what do? They earn the money. Workers earn the money. Spendthrifts burn the money. Not literally, but they are burning the money metaphorically. Bankers lend the money. Women spend the money. So this is getting a bit misogynist. And forgers fake it. Taxers take it. Dying, they leave the money. Heirs, they receive the money. Thrifty save the money. Misers crave the money. Correct? Robbers seize the money. Rich increase the money. Gamblers lose the money. I could use the money. If only I had money, I could use. So there's another word for women in the book, and it is simply laymen. But in the original poem, it is not laymen, it is women. So we have 14 lines, and in 14 lines, much has been said, as this poem is all about, the grandeur of money. So within 14 lines, much has been said, right? Money is the new kind of madness, is the new kind of power that we want, correct? So this poem is trying to show the same kind of madness that has been going on in people's mind. Let's study about this poem in detail. Poet literature lovers always know the basic steps on making a desirable poem and be able to convey the ideas as convincing as possible to meet the desired goal of impacting one's feeling and be able to connect with the readers well. The above poem is a narrative poem which the author recounts on how different kind of people deal with money. The first line suggests on how workers gain the money, which somewhat emphasizes on how hard work it takes just to have it, while the second line gives me the impression of how a compulsive shopper scorched it in just one click. Correct? Can you see the difference between these two last perspective? How workers gain the money and finally how a compulsive shopper, spends the money. Workers earn it. Spendthrifts burn it. So workers are earning the money by the dint of their hard work, by much, hard work, by labor. They're working money. They're earning money. And spendthrifts, they are burning the money. Metaphorically, they are burning the money. So what kind of poem is it? It is a narrative poem, right? It's a narrative poem. So the main quality of narrative poem is narration. Narration is how the poem unfolds. This also suggests how the poem unfolds, correct? Right. So this is a narrative poem, and if you look at the, spectrum of poetry, you have two extremes. In one extreme, we have something about workers. In another extreme, we talk about spendthrifts. So this is the spectrum. This is the spectrum of poetry. From one end to another, from workers to spendthrifts, all has been, beautifully crafted and explained in this poem. Let us go on analyzing and studying this poem. On the other hand, third line tells us how bankers let somebody borrow or use it for their own expenditures, while in the fourth line convey the idea of how women overindulged it. The fifth line states how swindlers Sam money in order to deceive people, while having a pound of nervousness while lending it, while the sixth line says that how taxes get hold of it in a less struggling way. In the series of the lines that follows, we could easily cite that each line is a contradiction to the next. Say a first line used verb which has a contracting meaning to the verb used in the second line. So as the third and fourth implies, and so on. So if you look at the verbs, let's look at the verbs of first and second line. In the first line, we have a verb called earn. In the second line, we have a verb burn. So we have earn and burn. So clearly you can see the contradiction here. And literature becomes amusing because of these kind of contradictions. If we look at the verb of the fourth line, we have something called lend. And if you take the verb of fourth line, so lend is third line. So fourth line is spend. Can you see the contradiction? Obviously you can. Let's look at the another verb, fake compared with take. So another contradiction, right? These all are what we call full rhymes because they do rhyme. That's why they are called full rhymes. These are all full rhymes. Earn, burn, lend, spend, fake, take. So these are full rhymes. So in a series of lines, we could cite that there is contradiction, and the contradiction is what makes the poem beautiful. So the technique that is used in this poetry is what we call the use of contradiction. So in addition, the entire poem maintained its rhyme, and it has 4 syllables each line, which makes the poem attention grabbing, though it possesses simplicity because it uses third person pronoun it from first line to the last one, which makes the poem sound a little bit redundant but becomes successful in emphasizing what the pronoun refers to. This makes the reader think what the poem is all about. Lastly, the above poem reveals moral lesson to the reader on how to trade on money wisely. It is obvious that it plays an important role in our daily lives because it gives us the opportunity to buy and or provide our needs. But we should realize that we should be the one to handle it than having it handling our lives. So this is the main idea in the end. Main idea. Money is a good servant but a bad master, right? Okay. So some major ideas of this poem are rhymes. I've said it already, full rhymes have been employed, and 4 syllabic lines. So if you read the poem once again, you will find that each line has 4 syllables only. Workers earn it, 4 syllable. Spend, thrifts, burn it, 4 syllables. Correct? Another quality of this poem is the use of third person, and that this has created a bit of redundancy, and we may feel that there's much repetition in the poem. But the repetition reinforces the same idea, and lastly gives us a moral lesson, right? So let's look at the syllables. Workers earn it, spend, thrifts, burn it, bankers lend it, laymen spend it, right? Workers earn it, spend, thrifts, burn it. How many syllables? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 syllabic lines. Bankers lend it, laymen spend it. How many syllables? 4 syllables again. So I've got 2 syllabic words, and finally we have only 1 syllabic words. And this it has a kind of redundant tone to the poem. Now if you analyze the stress pattern, something called stress pattern, you'd find something like this. Workers earn it, spend, thrifts, burn it. So the pattern is stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. Now this stressed and unstressed forms a trochee, correct? This is a trochee, opposite to an iamb. An iamb is unstressed followed by stressed syllable. This is an iamb, whereas this is a trochee. We have one foot and another foot, so altogether 1 plus 1 equals 2. Very good. So we have 1 plus 1 equals 2 feet. So this is what we call trochaic diameter. Trochaic diameter. This is the meter of the poem. So what is the meter of the poem? The meter of the poem is trochaic diameter. And the process of finding out meter is what we call versification. Versification is where we find out the meter of the poem by finding the stress pattern. The stress pattern is stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. This is what we call sanction or versification. And the meter is trochaic diameter. Let's go on studying the poem. Another technique that has been used is repetition. Something has been repeated, and the repeated pronoun is it. It has been repeated, and it is a third person singular pronoun. It is a third person singular pronoun, and by repeating the word it is not plural. The plural of it is them. Correct. The plural of it is them. It is singular. So by using this third person singular pronoun, something has been employed. Same theme has been overlapped. And what did we achieve from this repetition? We achieved something called moral values. So we achieved, or we reinforced moral values by repeating some syllables, by repeating a unisyllabic third person singular pronoun. We reinforce the moral values. So this is what makes the poem attention grabbing. And why is the poem so attention grabbing? It is because of its simplicity. Simplicity is the greatest sophistication, right? So because of simplicity, greatest sophistication has been employed. So repetition is a very important literary device. Whenever we write poetry, whenever we talk about poetry, or whenever we write something, repetition, the ironic juxtaposition of different ideas, is what makes our writing beautiful. Correct? Right, with this we have come to the homework section. Now, your homework is to write an analysis of the poem Money by Richard Armour. So the poem is Money by Richard Armour. You need to write an analysis. It should be a page-long analysis. You can probably get an A4 size paper. Write the title here and write the analysis. Do not just go to the internet and copy whatever you see. You should use your brain too. So be creative and just write an analysis of the poem, or write what you understood about the poem. Correct? Good. So with this we have come to end of today's class. If you have any questions or suggestions regarding this video series, feel free to write us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you.